We are getting ready for the holidays, and what a better way to celebrate than with something that makes memories.
And Becky's here with us with the perfect placemat for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so I have to be honest, these things were a lot more complicated than I originally thought they were going to be. One, I was dealing with a 2- and 4-year-old.
Yeah.
So that's going to cause problems there. But the other was, there's a special way to cut burlap that I didn't even know about, and you might not either. Check it out. If you'd like to make 4 placemats, you'll need 1 yard of burlap, scissors, fray check glue, poster board or cardboard, measuring tape, 2-inch size letter stamps to spell the word Gobble, paintbrushes, and black, brown, white, yellow, orange, and red fabric paint. We'll start by laying out, measuring, and cutting the burlap. When I picked it up at the fabric store, the woman at the cutting station let me in on a little secret to cutting this particular fabric. Measure where you want to make the cut, find the string that's nearest that location, then carefully pull that individual string out. Why? The threads that make up burlap don't necessarily fall in an exact straight line. So following this guideline might create some slight imperfections in the placemat rectangle. However, while the uneven nature of the burlap may make our placemat slightly uneven, it will overall look better if we keep each individual thread intact. It tricks your eye into thinking the rectangle is perfect. So once the string is out, you'll see a gap in the fabric. Cut along that line. Do this with your burlap fabric to create 4 rectangles measuring 17 inches by 13 inches. Next, I added a little fringe. Depending on how you want these to look, this step may be optional. I simply removed a couple of threads from each side of the placemat to create a more country style look. You're probably noticing that these threads are extremely easy to remove. To keep this from happening any more than you want it to, you've got a couple of options. I used a special glue called Fray Check and applied it to each side of my placemats to keep the threads in place. Or, if you're feeling extra crafty, grab your sewing machine and sew each side in place. Now it's time to start painting. I placed a piece of poster board underneath my placemat. Then, using my letter stamps and brown paint, I painted on the word Gobble to the top and bottom of each rectangle. I set each aside to let dry and then went and grabbed my kids. Admittedly, this part may be easier if your children are older than 2 and 4, but it is still doable at this age. First, I applied a generous amount of red paint to one hand and placed that handprint towards the middle of the placemat. Then I painted a generous amount of brown paint to the other hand and placed that handprint right next to the red one. The children were told not to touch anything, and we quickly washed the wet paint off, then waited for those handprints to dry. This was probably the toughest part of the project for me. Finally, time for the yellow handprint. That one goes in the middle. Once all the handprints were dry, I painted the body, feet, eyes, and nose of the turkey. I have to say, each turned out so cute, and I now have a fun memory to keep of Thanksgiving 2016.
So it's almost Thanksgiving time, and leading up to it, we're going to have a bunch of great ideas, including this one that we just did right now.
We have a cornucopia of ideas for you.
Did you pronounce that correctly?
Is it cornucopia? Did you figure out? How do you do it?
I think it's cornucopia, but then some people say cornucopia. I want to know what everyone else thinks. Can you comment below on how you pronounce it, please?
Right?
Let us know.
Give us your ideas for your Thanksgiving projects that you've got, whether it's recipes. We would love to see recipes for Thanksgiving, or any other kind of crafts that you're doing with your kids too.
All right, we post, of course, new videos every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we'd love you to subscribe. Just click on the top left corner of our screen. As they were saying, comment below, give us a thumbs up, and again, we want to hear from you. Share it with all your friends.
See you next time.